Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday class. Last class, we discussed the alchemist's vision revives the invaluable jewel. Baba said, "You invaluable jewels cannot be found at any other time of the cycle." And why is that so? Because as the intellect is divine now, the invaluable jewels can be only found now. You have been loved by everyone throughout the cycle. God remembers you with love, keeps you with love, looks at you with love. You have been loved by everyone throughout the cycle, as God's vision is on you. Baba is saying his vision is on us. That's why we are loved. The more the soul uses divine intellect, the more powerful is the soul. You, an invaluable jewel because of the Father's company. And the divine side keeps you behind the line and in company of Rama. Thank you. Now, before we invite Sister, I would like to invite everybody in the open forum to share what they have been practicing or experiencing throughout the week.
Can I use
Oh,
both languages, mix English or Hindi?
yeah, sure.
Mm,
Om Shanti.
okay. One realization I want to share that the foundation of the soul is uh, uh, peaceful, complete. So when we start practicing, we sometimes find it very difficult to uh, fly because in our because we see drama, so we think that we are at present, we are this is our position, but we have to become, or we were, but it sometimes finds difficult. But 2 3 days back I realized that the top is the foundation of the soul, and it is not that he has to become, he is he is the starting point is he is rich, he is prince. And for explaining it, make it my understanding clear, maybe I want to give one example that sometimes in my family, so, uh, my husband shared that they in their childhood they had neighbors who were very rich, and and after some time, due to some loss, they their financial position got low. But I realized that whenever he talks about them, his starting point is that they were very rich compared to the whole the area they were living at that time. So this is the drishti. Even then, at their present is not very good, but every time when he talk about it, they say they were very rich. They were, matlab their eyes speaks that the foundation is that they were rich. So I realize that this is a very good example, that what is our foundation, always we look at that, and our foundation is very beautiful. And so when we focus on this again and again, so our starting point will be more easy, jump will be more easy, that our basic, our foundation position is every soul is this, and every point is this. Actually, basically, it's originality. But just I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister. Anyone else who would like to share?
This class she spoke about safal karna. Safal karna meaning sundar fal. So only when you sow the seeds of good thoughts in the garden of your mind, mm, will you reap good fruits. That is what stayed with me. Mm, I have come to a realization that if you have if we have to give दान करना, if we have to do any kind of a sacrifice, first there should be purity. So बिना सफल किए दान नहीं हो सकता है. That became clear. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you. Anyone else who would like to share? Om Shanti.
I'll full example. So it can connect it with this thought also, that every scenes whichever coming in the drama always help the soul to reach its goodness and go beyond the drama. Every scene. And so we can relate the things with the so Baba is also taking the things or examples from the drama world also, that we can go through direct the point which he wants to tell us, that who we are exactly. So these examples are very connecting, and because we are totally in the drama, so we can connect with these example also. And not with this examples are only to understand that these are not reality, but these are giving us the hint to achieve the goal. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. If anyone wants to share, please unmute. Um, uh, Else, we'll go ahead with the class. Maybe we can take one last sharing if anyone wants to share. Okay, I would like to invite Sister now to proceed with the class. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon. So, we will start by creating the right environment inside. And this environment is of full clarity, full light. In full clarity, one knows about their own home, their own world, their family, their supreme friend, and they also know themselves very clear about themselves. They're also clear that there is a film that is going on down below. The film is completely independent of the true self and the true home. Everything that was seen today, yesterday, or what is to be seen tomorrow, that is all in the film. The one who is seeing the film is not from the film. He is invisible, incorporeal. His whole existence is unearthly. He doesn't need anything of the earth to survive or to exist. There is full clarity. Even the call right now, that is also in the film. Sound is in the film. Whilst the film continues, one has the option to stay beyond, not mix their life with the film. This is knowledge in action, when we are not mixing our life with the film or with any role in the film. Knowledge in action, full clarity at a very practical level, means the invisible, incorporeal point is independent of all the sounds, all the scenes, actions. He is just an observer of those images in the film. Thank you. So it was nice to hear some of the reflections, more encouragement to come in sound and light. This is a good opportunity to ask any questions or share for the next one hour. It's a good opportunity. We see that there are invisible and incorporeal beings who are the real people. They are not from some story, they are not characters, they are real people. They never die, they are immortal, and they have got a film as a gift. They've got a drama to watch as a gift. And the drama, it has everything inside that drama, from sounds and actions. Everything is fixed. Right now, as we watch the drama, if we don't get the feeling that this is fixed and we feel this is like a live show and I have the option to do whatever, then at the confluence age, there are highest directions, because the Supreme Being, he also comes in the film and he also flies past the film. And so only at the confluence age, he gives the highest directions of what to do, what not to do. So if someone feels I don't feel this film is fixed, so I can do whatever. So there are directions from the Supreme Being on doing the highest at every level, highest experiences, highest thoughts, highest words as well, highest action as well. And so that is, the supreme directions are also being given at this time of the film. So we are very, very lucky to receive those directions. And while watching the film, which may sometimes not feel like a fixed film, we also get complete clarity on what to do, what sort of actions to perform, what sort of routine, lifestyle. So there are those directions, and all their directions help keep the invisible, incorporeal point conscious. These directions, while passing through the film, they keep, if one follows the directions, they keep the soul conscious, keeps it alive. So no confusion at any level. That is Baba's Supreme Being's message. And there is also a line, and anytime one crosses the line, all confusion and all the doubts, all the complaints that exist, anything that is unpleasant, negative that exists, is only because I have crossed the line. Any hurt, any sorrow, any doubt, any complaint that one has is 100% because of one has crossed the line. If one is behind the line, then there is 100% guarantee of no sorrow, 100% guarantee of no complaint, 100% guarantee of 100% being positive. So the only question to ask at any given point in time is, have I crossed the line? And if yes, if anything unpleasant is experienced, then the answer is yes, I have crossed the line. And effort is only to come behind the line. And for that effort, we start right from the top, right from using the divine intellect, being very, very clear of the home and family of the incorporeal being, and seeing that life, experiencing the truth, the extraordinary truth of the true self, even for 1 minute, if that is done, it's like we are behind the line, and it becomes easier to stay behind the line for the next few minutes as well. But this keeps happening. We cross the line, and then we make the effort to come behind the line. But the more the effort is made to come behind the line, there is help from all directions. There is help from the entire tree, because the one who is behind the line, he is connected with the seed. And if you're connected with the seed, the whole tree, all of creation helps. So the effort has to be to come behind the line. And the more there is accuracy, enthusiasm in that effort, there is accuracy, there is conviction and enthusiasm in that effort to come behind the line, then there is multifold help. support from all sides, until this is done, until there is no head of Ravan, there is no Maya that brings you outside the line. And when being behind the line becomes very normal, natural, and there is stability in being behind the line, that's like the karmatit stage, that is the avyakt stage. And after that, the soul can also leave the body. It's ready to leave the body. It is ready for golden age, ready for the age of truth. So any thoughts on this? Anyone would like to share?
There's a constant fight, being, positive and negative, and the seed is invisible and the tree is visible. So the attention goes to the visible, to the tree, not to the seed and not behind the line. So, how to balance this? When will that happen?
Yeah, that will happen when the more we realize we ourselves are invisible. We start from the top. And it is not that we are visible and we are trying to be invisible. No? That is
Hmm.
where it becomes like a fight. But we are naturally seeing who we are and experiencing who we are. The more that is done, confusion, there is
Yeah.
no confusion, there is less fight.
Yeah, today also in the Murli, they're talking about Yog Bal. So that's what is lacking, I think. Maybe you can say a little about Yog Bal, how to bring more Yog Bal into your being or whatever.
There is power in yoga when there is accuracy. So there is power, and proof of power, very practical proof of bal, power, is that the false identity with this film and the heads of Ravan that have been created, the bondages that have been created with this film, they start to shrink. So, at the very practical level, if coming behind the line is with accuracy, then there is practical proof that these eclipse, all these false identities are like eclipse. They block the invisible. The entire invisible dimension is blocked because of these eclipse. And this eclipse shrinking in size, um, reducing in size is the practical proof that we are starting from the top with accuracy. We are not mixing. So even for 1 minute, if there is no mixing between the what who is invisible and visible, we are not saying I am the role and I am trying to be the soul. No? That confusion is not there. Role is role. Role is part of the film. And the invisible people, they are beyond the film. They never ever belong to the film. So we start from their home and their life, their natural environment of light. So even for 1 minute, that will have direct influence on this eclipse, on these bondages with the film. And for the next minute, it becomes easier to go beyond that eclipse. So this is repeated multiple times. Anyone else?
Om Shanti, sister. Uh, there was a small little thing that I wanted to ask. That is it normal if there is one particular identity, false identity, that you've been struggling to get rid of from the very beginning of this game that you are in, and you feel that you're winning at times. Sometimes you feel you've literally won the battle, just to realize that it's come back, and it's been happening since years. So is it normal that some identity can be so stubborn so as to um not get away at all? I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take to just get away with one identity. Or is it like we have so many of them that we need to get rid of each one fast, so that we can finally get rid of all of them? I don't know whether I could explain my question clearly or not, but
So we got the essence. Yeah.
sister, did you want me to speak again?
It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah. What you shared. It's good. Good enough. It's a good observation to observe the stubbornness. Every identity is very, very stubborn. It's not just that some are stubborn and the other ones are easy. Every false identity is very stubborn, and intensities of their stubbornness can vary, but it is extremely, yeah, it's extremely dependent, and very, there is arrogance and there is a lot of stubbornness in every false identity. So that is normal. And so to observe that itself is a good step to be able to see how stubborn each identity is, specifically this one, which is identified and acknowledged. So for that identity to be removed from the root, at the seed level, we have to we have identified the identity. That's the first step. If there are more, if we are able to identify all the identities that we see, we would like to make a list of them, all the identities. There is one based on a specific role. It can be father or friend, some role. Another identity very clearly identified with money, with car, some dresses, something. And so the more we are able to note all the identities, the bondages, where there is some happiness, if you get extra, if anything, you receive extra from the drama, there is happiness. If it decreases, there is some hurt, there is sorrow. So it's very good to be aware, and of all the identities, all the bondages that we identify, the one that we find is the biggest there. We want to work on it. We will make a program for next 1 month, or start with just 1 week, to not even create any thoughts for that identity. So if there is an identity as a father, there is a lot of happiness from that identity. I am a father. Then a lot of things are taken personally. I am a father. How can this be said to me? And there is happiness if the child does something. So it's a strong identity. The more happiness that identity brings, it is likely to bring more pain from that same identity. So for 1 week, we want to keep a very strict mental diet to not even entertain any thoughts. I'm a father. So anytime the child does something, there is strict attention that this is a guest, this is another guest, immortal, and the only relationship between the two souls is that they are from the invisible, incorporeal family. So there is attention. If there is Ravan's happiness, if there is Ravan's sorrow, there is attention to not create thoughts. I am a father. To not think like a father. So to not think like a father, to not uh, create expectations from that role, to not create desire or pain from that role. So we stop at the first thoughts. We stop right at the first thoughts. So for 1 week, that identity, that head is starved. I am a father is given no time, no thoughts. Instead, if we have time, if we have thoughts, we create thoughts of the alokik dimension. We get busy with the invisible family, and where all are immortal, all are lucky, all are full. And then the drama goes on, film goes on, things happen with the child, the father, something will happen. And there is attention, strict attention on no thinking like a father, no expectation, desire, perspective of the father, that is starved for 1 week. Then we do it for another week, and then that identity will reduce. It will shrink in its size. Still, there will be times to observe how the happiness of being a father, or the sorrow, some pain that starts to creep in. But again, if it is done for 1 or 2 weeks with attention, then the identity is so small that it can be removed from the seed. And relationship continues. Relationship now continues as with no confusion that this is another soul. Just this is a soul who has a clear entry and exit. And here, this is a soul, this is a traveler who is on the journey and has a fixed entry and exit. And the exit can come anytime. So now the relationship has no confusion. So there is a whole process of getting rid of the stubbornness of identities. It doesn't come with just knowledge, knowing there is identity. It doesn't happen with seeing how stubborn it is. It requires this homework. Home has to be brought in. Divine intellect, if divine intellect is used, divine intellect sees the bigger picture. It sees the home. And that is the homework everyone has to do. Bring the home alive. That's the only work. Maybe now we can read some passages. This is the passage from 18772. Very relevant to the subject of winning, coming behind the line. Very relevant for any spiritual effort maker. So only those who celebrate finishing weaknesses are fast effort makers.
Sorry, sister, interrupting. What is the homework? I could not understand actually.
Sorry, what is the homework?
Homework you given, Abhi. That could not understand.
Homework is to there was no homework as such. It was just saying that the meaning of homework is when the home is brought alive. Was just saying that we hear this word homework from Baba. Baba uses that word a lot. It's an English word, homework, and all the work that has to happen in the home. So the more the soul is coming to the top position, coming in home, experiencing the home, the actual work starts, and the actual work is of finishing these false identities. And so we all have that homework there, and we all have identities, false identities. It is good to make a list of the identities, bondages, where specifically you take happiness from, you also know from the same identities you take sorrow. It is good to note them down and start by starving the identity which is the biggest head. That will create a lot of happiness. It will create a lot of, it will make space for perfection. It will make space for highest experiences. Very relevant to this title. Only those who celebrate, only those who celebrate finishing weaknesses, they are fast effort makers. So anyone here wants to be a fast effort maker? Anyone?
Yes, sure.
Yes, want to go fast actually.
Yeah. There has been this emphasis, right, in every Sunday, last 3 or 4 Sundays, that there is no margin for effort, but there is only margin for fast effort. So felt that, yeah. So do you consider yourselves to be ever ready? The practical form of those who are ever ready. What is the practical form of anyone who is ever ready? Those who are not reading the Murli, they can share, more likely to share. Practical form of anyone who is ever ready. Yes.
Om Shanti Didi. The moment the wrong image of myself comes and I get detached to that particular attachment, that wrong image, and it doesn't give me even a feeling of little bit of feeling, then that is ever ready. That it comes and goes, comes and goes. So it is called jama karna, kind of. Yeah. Thank you.
When I'm convinced that I'm a soul and not the role.
Both are nice. Ever ready is a state where we are not fighting. Some identity comes and then we use knowledge, go beyond it. That is a different stage. Ever ready means someone who is a guest he is very ready, because he has created no attachments. He is emotionally ready all the time to leave. If he is asked to leave 3 days before his intended departure, he has no problem, because he was very clear that this is not his place. So it's not a fighting stage where it comes, I get detached, and then I use knowledge, and then so ever ready is different. More so, it's the word that is used for a guest, a traveler, and any traveler, they are ready. They're ready for all sorts of situations when going to a foreign land. They don't need to remind themselves that I have this exit. They just know. It's not like they have to make some effort to remind themselves of I have to leave, I don't have to create any attachments. They're not using knowledge. They just know this is not their place. There is no margin for attachment. But the question is still the same. The question is, what is the practical form of someone who is ever ready?
There is some answers in the chat box.
Mhm.
And unshakable, they will not struck in story at all. Ever happy,
Mhm.
extreme happy, fastest, full stop in second.
Very nice. Yeah. Nice. And more highest votes for always detached, always easygoing. So all of that translates into being ever happy. One who is flying, one who is detached, one who is light. They are light. Why? Because they are not attached anywhere. And so, what does that practically feel like? Practically, how does lightness feel like? How does easiness feel like? How does no detachment, always detached, no attachment feels like? How does that actually feel like? It all feels like being ever happy. So, practical form of those who are ever ready is that they will be ever happy. No matter what type of paper comes, whether through situations or natural calamities, or even if a paper of the physical suffering of karma comes to them, they will pass all types of papers with full marks, or they will pass with good marks. Full marks or good marks. Do you consider yourself to be ever ready to this extent? Someone who is fully clear of their exit, only those will not create attachments. We know we have to leave. The whole world, everyone in the world, if you ask them, do you have to leave one day? They will say yes. If you ask them, can you take anything of this life with you when you leave? They will say no. But the question is, do they create attachments? Yes. Do they want to keep creating attachments? Yes. So knowing that I have to leave I will leave one day is very different to living with that consciousness. Yeah? Everyone in the world knows, not just BKs, not just someone who is spiritual. This is no different. Yeah? I can't say, I know I have to leave, I'm a guest, so I am superior to everyone else, because everyone knows that. But do I create attachments? Do they create attachments? Yes. Do you live like, do you plan for next 10 years? House and school and kids and family? Yes. So in the consciousness, there is no knowledge. Yeah? Theory, there is, in my memory, there is knowledge. I can memorize stuff. But is it in the consciousness? Is it in my decisions? That is the question. So if the intellect is used, yeah, intellect influences decisions. If intellect has knowledge, decisions will be based on that knowledge. So if someone is ever ready, if they know that they are guests, then they are ever ready. Then they are ready to leave anytime. They will not have any complaint if someone else leaves. I'm saying this is my sister. Suddenly something happens, the soul leaves. I have no doubts, I have no questions, I have no complaints. Why? Because they are also guests. They can leave anytime. They didn't come with a contract telling me they will live for this years. So when there is knowledge in the intellect, then it is practically experienced as being ever ready, means experienced as being happy, because happiness is not blocked by confusion. So do you consider yourself to be ever ready to this extent? Or do you experience yourself to be ever happy, which is the sign of being ever ready? So Baba says, you come here with lot of identity, lot of attachments. But then as you study, your mercury of happiness should keep increasing. And so mercury of happiness will keep increasing if identities keep decreasing. If the false ego, the false identities, they keep decreasing, and the happiness, mercury keeps increasing. So which is the sign of being ever ready. Have you made such preparations for yourself that whatever paper comes at any moment, you are ready for it? Anyone has made any preparations? Any paper can come, but you are ready for it? Anyone has made such preparations? Are you ever ready to this extent? Very little time remains for the souls who are going to claim their inheritance number-wise from you elevated souls. The speed of time is moving fast. Just as time does not stop for any obstructions, but continues to move on. In the same way, ask yourself whether you stop due to obstacles of Maya. If any subtle or gross obstacle comes due to Maya, or if there is any attack from Maya, then if you stabilize yourself in your elevated pride in a second, elevated pride means true identity. Happiness based on the true identity. So Baba says, if there is any attack from the Maya and you stabilize yourself in your elevated pride in a second, you are able to hit the target of Maya, the enemy, very well. If you are not stabilized in your elevated pride, then because of not hitting the target, you become distressed. Are you distressed now? If even now there is some kind of distress. How would you remove the distress of the many souls? Are you those who finish the distress of others or those who are distressed themselves? Whenever you have a bhatti, you have a final ceremony of the bhatti or a transformation ceremony. In the same way, when will you celebrate the final celebration or the transformation ceremony of this unlimited bhatti? Is there a fixed date for this? The reply from the students who are listening to the Murli is that drama will make it happen. Baba says, the drama will enable the final ceremony of all souls to take place in this old world. However, you elevated, intense, effort-making souls have to celebrate the ceremony of finishing all the weaknesses in advance. Not that you will also celebrate it at the end with all souls. So those who are in the sacrificial fire, those who are part of the yajna, of the bhatti, what do they have to do?
Create their stage before the final.
More accurately, what was said?
Have to be त्रिपुरुषार्थी, अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं, ये अपने आप को बताना है बार बार.
Yeah. More accuracy, what did Baba say? The exact words.
You should have removed your identities upfront and be ready as Yagya.
Yeah. Remove all the weaknesses, finish all the weaknesses, then that is your celebration. That is, those who are part of the bhatti, they need to create, finish all their weaknesses. So, do you know your weaknesses? That is the question that was addressed. Do you know your identities? Do you know your bondages? Because you will be able to finish what you know. So, am I aware of my own bondages, false identities? Do I know the heads of Ravan that I have created through different journeys, taking different roles? Once I know that, then I have to take the next step, which is to starve those weaknesses, not feed, not give it thoughts, not give it time and energy. So then I am part of the yajna. Then I am part of the unlimited bhatti. Just as when you hold a seminar, you fix a date, you make all preparations, and you accomplish that task with total success. In the same way, can the date not be fixed for holding a seminar? Which seminar? Baba is asking, can you not fix a date for holding a seminar too?
To remove all the false identities.
Yeah. Yes. So can the date not be fixed for holding a seminar to finish all the weaknesses? When Baba says fix a date, it is for this. Understand, no? It is for this, finishing all weaknesses, all the bondages. So is it possible to hold this seminar? When someone creates a sacrificial fire, sacrificial offerings are made during it. But at the end, everyone together puts in the final complete sacrifice. So can all of you not meet together and sacrifice the final offerings? Can you not sacrifice? What sacrifice? Can you not sacrifice what?
Weakness.
Yeah, all your weaknesses. Can you not sacrifice all the weakness is weakness is like a sensitive spot. Yeah, sensitive spot that you have. If anywhere you are weak, then you have sensitivity there. So what does that sensitivity do? It can it can that is the place where you can be hurt. You can experience hurt. You can experience sorrow. That is weakness. And so in the spiritual understanding, weakness means any area where I can experience hurt, I can experience offense, I can feel offended, I can feel personal attack or take things personally. And spirituality tells us, how do we take things personally? It is only because when there is an identity, and there is a false identity where there is ego. So weaknesses means ego, false image of who I am. That is the weakness. If there is the true picture of who I am, then there is role can be go through any sort of hardship. Someone can say anything to the role. They can do anything with the role, but that is not my weakness. I don't take that personally. I don't take any offense. I don't get hurt based on that. But if there is a identity, there is some confusion, I am that, then it is a weakness. And when we come in, we come with all these weaknesses. That is the first step. We don't, first lesson, you are a soul. It's not that magically those weaknesses are removed. But we take steps to finish those weaknesses. An effort maker means he has decided that he is not going to feed those false identities. They are there, weaknesses are there, but he has decided to work on his strengths, yeah, and to remove all the weaknesses. So the ball of Maya can come from any angle and he will still score. He will still be able to what was said, full marks. He will still be able to score well because he has no weak spot left. He cannot say, if Maya comes in this form, then I feel sad. So, can you not sacrifice all your weaknesses? That is the question. Do I want to sacrifice all my weaknesses? Do we need weaknesses to do we need weaknesses while we are on the journey of through this drama? Do we actually need weaknesses?
No.
Which translates to, do we need bondages? Do we need false identities? No, we don't need false identities to fly past this drama. So can we then sacrifice all of them until you all get together and put in the final sacrifice? How will the atmosphere, the consciousness, and the vibrations of the entire world transform? How will you fulfill the responsibility you have taken of transforming the world and renewing the world? So, anyone has taken the responsibility to transform the world and renew the world? Any raise hands? Anyone has taken the responsibility? So, well, what is the next step then? Anyone who has taken the responsibility to transform and renew the world, what do they have to do? What do they have to give up? With any responsibility you take, you have to give up something. Yeah, if someone becomes any responsibility of a mother, of a father, you have to give up something. So if you take the responsibility of transforming the world, renewing the world, what do you have to give up?
Personal,
Rem
for example, if someone take the responsibility, he need to lost his time. So we need to lost the roles in which we get entangled. Time, use less and less time of that.
Yeah. What else? So what is Baba
Ego.
saying?
Ego. We have to get rid of our ego completely. Zero. Zero बनना.
Mhm.
Working on soul strengths, the virtues.
पिक्चर देखते हुए घर चलना.
Give up all the waste and ego.
Waste, ego, weakness, all are the same thing. So in order to fulfill your responsibilities or in order to fulfill your task, you will definitely have to make the final complete sacrifice. So final and complete sacrifice. And that requires time. That is why it is said time for a bahut kal abhyas, practice over a long time. As was said, you just don't decide that this is false identity. It is I'm going to finish it. No, it requires a time of practicing. So now, for fast effort making, you will have to make the final complete sacrifice in order to make yourself ever ready to this extent. What method should you adopt to make the complete sacrifice? What do we have to remove?
Yes. Remove
Weakness. Yeah, remove weaknesses. And everyone has made up their mind to remove weaknesses. Only those who want to transform the world and renew the world, they have to remove weaknesses. So it is not for everyone. Yeah. So anyone who wants to transform the world, renew the world, not just your house, but if you are interested in transforming the whole world, yeah, you know the sacrifice you have to make. Clear with the sacrifice? Yes, Sushma, what is the sacrifice?
Weakness and identities.
Yeah. Weaknesses, identities need to be removed. Yeah. So for those. And now, what is the next question Baba is asking? So everyone clear? Have you made up your mind to sacrifice all the weaknesses? We said we don't even need weaknesses. We don't even need false identities. So are we happy to sacrifice something we don't need? Who is happy to sacrifice weaknesses, false identities?
Yes, we are happy. I'm happy.
So then, for those who have decided, the question Baba is asking, what method should you adopt so that you attain liberation from all weaknesses? What is your method? That is the main question, yeah, practical question. What is the method you will use to attain liberation from all your weaknesses?
Not
Do you
to be
have a
touched with.
method? Mm-hmm.
Guest conscious.
Yeah.
Practically, we should not.
Mm-hmm.
starve all weaknesses.
First, understanding and realizing कि कहाँ पे हैं वो wrong identities. And then with knowledge, it's easy.
Hmm.
Plant Sato Pradhan thoughts in the garden of mind.
Yeah. So to anyone who has decided to liberate, attain liberation from all weaknesses, Baba, give your plan to Baba, give your method, the method you are going to use, share it with Baba, share it in this gathering. It brings more attention, yeah, once you share it. So, what method should you adopt so that you attain liberation from all weaknesses? Baba says you have been given many methods, but today you are being given another method. Today you are being given another method. So we have to, yeah. Method is that always have the awareness. How could a memorial be created of any wasteful thoughts or words or ordinary deeds? Memorials have been created of greatness. So this is the method Baba is giving. In order to make it into a memorial, perform every action while staying in remembrance. You saw how Sakar Baba performed every action while staying in remembrance. And this is why those actions have today become a memorial in the hearts of all of you. So in the same way, make your actions a memorial in front of the world. This is easy, is it not? Since you have faith that all these different types of memorials are yours, then is it difficult to repeat the elevated actions performed or the memorials of many times? So actions, in front of the whole world. Actions in front of the whole world. What are the actions that impact the whole world?
Thoughts.
Yeah, yeah. Action usually, if we are body conscious, we think actions means doll, what the doll is doing. But from the bigger picture, actions that are seen by the whole world are how am I using my time and thoughts? That has an impact on the whole world. So, how am I using my time and my thoughts? Is it to feed Ravan? Is it to be free from Ravan? That we have the choice. So you simply have to repeat that which you have done cycle after cycle. So become Master Trikaldarshi and keep your memorials of the previous cycle in front of you and simply repeat them. You have constantly been making the effort to stay in this consciousness. And so, how can it be difficult? Does Maya put a lock on this consciousness even now? What happens when lock is applied? So we have been making the effort to stay in the highest consciousness. Yes? Baba is asking, does Maya put a lock on this consciousness? Does she block this highest consciousness even now? So what happens when a lock is applied? You want to enter somewhere and there is a lock. What happens? Those who are not reading the Murli?
Cannot enter.
You cannot enter. Yeah? Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Lost.
Lost. Yeah. So Baba says, you are reading and you are talking about, you are listening about this highest consciousness, soul consciousness. You're making the effort, but then there is a lock. You know soul consciousness. You listen about it. You talk about it, but you just cannot be soul conscious. You cannot enter that dimension. Why? Because Maya has put a lock. So you are limited to talking about it and listening about it, but you cannot experience it, yeah, because Maya has put a lock. And what happens when a lock is applied? Baba is saying it makes you crazy, right? It makes you go mad. You want to go there, but you cannot go there, yeah, and it makes you mad. Even those who open the locks of everyone become crazy. Why is there a lock put on your consciousness? Why is there a lock put on your consciousness? You forget your luck, and so a lock is applied. You forget your luck. If you look at your luck, there can never be a lock. If we are looking at the luck, the fortune of the doll, and we consider that is me, so that fortune is me. So you are judging yourself. You want to know yourself based on the doll. Does that happen? Does that happen? You are judging yourself. You are judging your own, um, awareness based on the doll, based on the role. And so that will give a very distorted picture because these are two different things, two separate worlds. And with that world, I want to know myself. So that will never work. And so that is like putting a lock. So your consciousness is locked. But we start from the top. Luck of the soul, life of the soul. A lock is opened. There is no lock. If you look at your luck, so we don't look at the luck of the soul, we look at the luck of Ananya. And by how Ananya is, luck of Ananya, how lucky Ananya is, how lucky Sunita is, soul is trying to make sense of how lucky am I. That is ego-based effort. Ego is making the effort because ego shines light in the drama and he tries to make effort. Looks at the drama, calculates the things in the drama and makes the effort. It is ego-based effort. Soul-based effort comes beyond the drama. There is no question of the drama. There is no relation with the drama. Starts from the top. If you look at your luck, there can never be a lock. So what is the key for the lock? Consider yourself to be lucky. You are lovely and lucky. If you forget your luck and just become lovely, you also remain incomplete. You are lovely and lucky when you have both in your consciousness. Maya will never put a lock on you. So who is lovely and lucky?
Soul.
Soul is
The
The
true.
soul.
soul.
If someone
The
says,
soul.
if someone says Pranali is lucky and lovely, what will that do?
It's an ego-based
It
effort.
will divert my
If
attention in the drama world, story world.
Yeah, it will put a lock, But someone saying will not put a lock. Me taking it, me thinking, I'm Pranali, I'm so lucky, I'm so lovely. People are saying Pranali is so lovely. It will put a lock. So when you have both in your consciousness, someone is saying, Sunita is so lovely, it will put a lock on the soul to go past Sunita, to go beyond Sunita, because there is ego, there is identity already, and then on top of it, that identity is getting food. Sunita is so lovely. Wow, Sunita is so lucky. After Gyan, everyone in her family is coming into Gyan. So lucky, so lucky. Based on the drama, I'm so lucky. That will put a lock and the soul cannot experience. Then we can talk about soul. We will listen about the soul. but I cannot experience myself to be a soul. So role is separate and the soul's life is separate. What happens for Ananya in the story is not the reality of the soul. So when you have both in your consciousness, Maya will never put a lock on you. Therefore, stay in remembrance and repeat your memorials of the previous cycle. Even now, when someone has created an inaccurate memorial, then seeing such a memorial, the thought would arise that it is inaccurate. If the idols of the goddesses and the Shaktis are inaccurate, then when everyone sees them, they would have the thought that they are not accurate. In the same way, look at your actions, look at your form, and intoxication of every moment. Yeah, so look at your form. Am I looking at Ananya, or is it the form of the invisible, incorporeal? Something happens in the drama, there is intoxication of Ravan, or it is the intoxication of the soul. Yeah, Ravan's intoxication, all the identities that one has created, they get some promotion, they get some betterment. There is Ravan's happiness. Ravan is very happy. I have got more. So look at your form and look at the intoxication. Where is this intoxication coming from? This is happiness of the soul, or this is happiness of the role? What would be the memorial of my form and intoxication of the present moment? So check whether your every image of every moment has such value. If not, then the image of the memorial will not be valuable either. So Baba says, to the lovely and lucky stars who perform every action while staying in remembrance and thereby have memorials made, love, remembrance, and namaste from Bapdada. To the lovely and lucky stars. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's like a full circle, the Baba told us. Like I was saying, there's a constant fight between soul and role and visible and invisible. So I got the answer that, I am highest, holiest, richest, luckiest, wisest. So that has opened the lock and I've become lucky and lovely. And like you were saying, ever ready in the beginning. So in the Raj Yoga course, we studied about the phases. So the deity phase is always ready to climb the mountain. So I was just thinking, Baba brought us down from that stage to the end of Shudra or Shudra stage, then Brahman stage. And from there we learned that we were that, and then we got lost somewhere, and again we found ourselves. That's what my take on it. Thank you.
दीदी और एक क्वेश्चन है कि जैसे बाबा बोलते हैं, बाबा टेल्स दैट इन सत्युग whatever efforts you have made, you get that position. ठीक है? And it is the same reflection in Sangam Yuga also. So, like, again, is this judging the story, or what is the essence? What is Baba trying to tell in this point?
Baba says Sangam Yuga is the first age, and this is the foundation for every other age, not the other way around.
Okay, so here, me being in that complete awareness itself is the reflection for all the rest of the words.
What was the last line? The reflection, before reflection.
Is the reflection for all the rest of the births in the journey of the soul. So now,
Is mhm.
is that what Baba is trying to mean?
He says that based on the effort in confluence age, it is yeah, that will be what you carry throughout the cycle. This is the first birth. This is the first age. Every birth after this will be based on how this birth looks like.
So I just have to focus and build my foundation now, and then rest everything is fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Based on that, everything else will be fixed.
Om Shanti, sister. Day before yesterday's Murli, Baba says that it is this, even this opening of lock is number वार होता है ऐसे I'll read the statement. यूनिवर्सिटी में जो अच्छी रीति पढ़ते हैं वह जरूर फीके हो जाएंगे, नंबर वार होते ही हैं. So this opening of lock is also number war?
No, we have discussed this many times. In what scenarios is it said it is number wise, and in which scenario it is said it is not. Yeah, it is based on the drama. As per the drama, locks are opened, and in some scenarios it is said differently. So we have discussed that. Maybe I will try to find the link now and share it. But yeah,
Okay.
till then, any other reflections?
No, sister. This in the same verse it is written कोई dull-headed होते हैं. In this it was mentioned that Baba is trying to remove the lock, but since your karma is such that the ताला खुलता ही नहीं, that the passage was like that. मेरी बुद्धि का ताला खोलो. बाप कहते हैं बुद्धि का ताला खोलने के लिए ही तो मैं आया हूँ, परंतु तुम्हारा कर्म ऐसे है जो ताला खुलता ही नहीं.
Karam
बाबा क्या
identities.
करें?
Yeah, these are false identities. So if there is no action to remove the false identities, you're just listening knowledge, then there will be no change, because identities are getting food and Baba cannot do anything. He is giving the knowledge, like today, the whole Murli, there is knowledge to change the karma, change the actions by removing the identities. But if one is listening, not taking any, what was the action? What was the homework Baba gave? What did he say? Now what you have to do? If that is not done, then there is same life, Ravan adapts to this life, but it is the same Ravan who was previously in the Lokik world, drinking and dancing to parties, but it is the same Ravan now adopting to white clothes and vogue and all that. So there is no difference in Ravan. And so life is same. Inner life is the same. Outer life, colors have changed, names have changed, but Baba cannot do anything, because if knowledge is not used, what can he do?
So it is the Ravan listening to the Murli.
Yeah, like how do I know if Ravan is listening to the Murli if what was shared in the Murli is not implemented? And there is no plan to implement it. Plan is only to listen to the next Murli. So what was the plan given today? And so the answer to the first question, I just shared it. But what was the plan?
Baba gave action as how are you using the time and thoughts? Focus on that. That's when the lock will be.
And how to use that? How to use time and thoughts?
Baba said the way Brahma Baba's every action was done in remembrance. And that is why it has become monumental today. In the same way, every action of ours should also be done in remembrance.
Yeah, that is all good philosophy. What is the action to be done?
Bring
Action
home
of
alive.
remembrance.
Experience the home.
Make a
At
program.
At a practical level, yeah, make a program for what?
For
Start
identifying your
identity.
weaknesses and making a plan to remove them.
Yeah, yeah. So at a practical level, we have shared, discussed this many times, that Murli has uh, lot of poetic lines and lot of different some bhakti words as well, some different correlations. But there is one practical aspect, one thing that you have to practically do. If that is done, then intellect changes. If intellect changes, then everything changes. But if that is not done, nothing will ever change. So in the Murli, the sacrificing weaknesses, that is at a practical level what needs to be done. And anyone who does that, even one weakness, anyone who sacrifices one weakness, their whole life will change. For them, the entire experience of Confluence Age will completely change. Not just from here to here, it will be a huge jump. And Papa was not saying about removing one weakness. He said at a practical level, those who remove all the weaknesses, they are transforming the whole world. So that is the practical step to be taken. The rest all, discussions we can keep discussing. But if this is not done, no discussion is of any use. What was the question that Baba asked? One question was asked in regards to this practical homework.
Do you want to transform the world?
Yeah, another question.
How will you remove distress of others?
Are you ready to free from all weaknesses?
Fix the date.
Can you invite Maya to take the test?
Why there is a lock?
Practical question. Practical
What's
question.
what's the method?
Yeah. What's the method you will adopt to sacrifice? That keeps you. Every other question, Maya will say yes, no, and not think about it at all. But this is the question that has to be taken, that has to be answered. Every other question, do you want to get rid of identities? Yes, raise hands. Everyone raises hands, forgets about it. Next day, they don't even remember. The question that needs thinking, which needs an answer, is what is the method you will adopt? So anyone who has actually made up their mind to remove weaknesses, they will take this question with them. This question will be very important for them. What is the method to adopt? Yes. So we will meet again, and good wishes with the questions that need some thinking. Method to remove the weaknesses, and we will meet again. Thank you. Meeting again without any weaknesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you, sister.